Previously on Survivor UConn, 15 students embarked on a semester-long season of Survivor, where they have to compete in challenges, strategize within their tribes, and vote out their fellow tribemates. For our second season, 18 students were divided into 3 tribes, where they competed in their first challenge. Verdefoy came in last, and an alliance formed between Matt, Andrianna, and Bijan. But because their tribe member Amanda never showed up, she was voted out without ever meeting her tribemates. The other 2 players removed from the game, one for both Moynihan and Jaskilka. All tribes were now down to 5 players each. Jaskilka lost the next competition, and a divide formed between Maddie and Shane and Sawyer and Alex, leaving Heidi in the middle. Ultimately, Heidi chose to vote out Sawyer, who became the first official player voted out of Survivor UConn Ready to Rumble. Who will leave next? And will a member of Moynihan find the idol with their second clue? Find out tonight.
Let's get it!
Sawyer. Sorry, that's 3. That's enough for tonight.
Yeah, so after the vote, it was really awkward. I mean, like, literally right after the vote, like, right after we left tribal.
So after we voted Sawyer out, it was a little bit awkward. Shane, Maddie, and I were obviously, like, very pleased, but, like, Alex and Sawyer were both evidently very blindsided. Shane said that the look on Sawyer's face was a lot of surprise. So, like, I felt bad, but like it also felt good to like successfully pull it off, I guess, because there's still that like feeling in the back of my mind that it might have gone wrong, but it worked out in the long run.
I was a little disappointed because Sawyer was definitely my number 1 ally.
All of us thought that Sawyer was very sketchy in terms of who he talked to, and he lied about talking to people. Then he had Alex lying about who he talked to, and he had we had convinced each other that Sawyer was the proper person to go because he was just going to start drama on our team.
Shane didn't like the fact that Sawyer was gunning for him so early on. We kind of decided that the 3 of us are going to go for Sawyer, which upsets me because I didn't want to like betray someone so early on, because like Sawyer was the first person that proposed an alliance with me. But had he gone for Alex, I don't think I would have had to.
Sawyer leaves. And it sends a message to Alex that if he doesn't step up and we lose, he's going to be the next one gone.
But right now it feels pretty solid. I feel like as a tribe we're all pretty solid. And Alex, he doesn't seem to have like too many hard feelings. So like I'm hoping that we all just kind of like get 4 of us back together so that we can win challenges again.
And Maddie, who lives in my dorm, kind of like took like odd route to leave just so she wouldn't have to talk to me on the way home, which was kind of annoying. Yeah, I'm not feeling good about it, but I still think that there's a chance because the 2 girls are definitely playing both sides. So I messaged Shane, I'm like, hey, can we just talk for a sec? Like tomorrow, and he's like, oh no, I'm busy like all day tomorrow, but like you had to make a choice, no hard feelings. And like I wanted to talk to him and be like, yeah, like they're playing both sides, like you're definitely on their radar, but I mean if he doesn't want to listen, it's his choice.
We definitely stepped it up in the second challenge, but I think there was a lot that could have been done in terms of improvement.
That one was fun for me because also I'm loud, as you know. It was funny though because it's hard to control so many people at one time. So I ended up making like 2 of my teammates like go through bushes instead of like going around because there were bushes in the way. So I just made them walk through.
Neil may have been mad with her because she made us walk through some like prickly bushes at one point, but you gotta do what you gotta do to win, so I was fine with it.
She made us walk through a bush though, which is it's a very prickly bush too, so it's kind of a bit it hurt a little bit.
But no, it was nice to win a challenge for once.
Even though we saw the puzzle before them, like, I just feel like we really suck. Like, just like our communication skills are so off. And I honestly feel like that was part of the reason why we lost the first challenge. Like, we didn't really have like a good sense of teamwork or like unity.
Was there anyone in particular that wasn't communicating well, or you think what made it hard to do the number puzzle?
I think like Neil was like just like he kept asking what the numbers added up to.
But like, I don't think like Neil should not have been treasurer. Neil should have no responsibility. I'm sorry. Like, he's like smart, but the way he was going about it was just so wrong. Like completely wrong. And it was frustrating to watch. That's the other thing. Neil's like, oh, don't worry, I can get the idle clue from Hope. I gave her a textbook once.
On the red team, Hope invited me to join the game, so I appreciate that, but now I gotta win, so she's more of an enemy to me right now. But so, my plan is sort of, I lent her that textbook last semester for chemistry, and that's pretty expensive, so, I mean, she could help out a little bit by lending me like a little bit of a hint, or maybe a hint of the hint, you know?
Like, oh my god, like she's not gonna give you the idle clue because he gave her your textbook. That's why he kind of has to go, because he clearly does not understand this game.
Neil tried to ask me about the idle clue, and I wasn't gonna give it to him.
Yeah, I would say that my spot in the tribe is perfect right now. If we were to lose the next challenge, which I think is a possibility, I really don't think our tribe is gonna be good at most things, but if we were to lose, I'd be surprised if I were the one to be voted out.
So the Moynihan tribe is now in the first 2 immunity competitions, and along with that comes the first 2 clues to the hidden immunity idol. Last week, the clue led me to believe it was in a rock wall somewhere. Turns out, after searching every rock wall on campus, that I don't think that's the answer. The second clue led me to believe it was in a graveyard somewhere. So I'm going to search the graveyard by North Campus.
We did, after that second clue, go on a search through the graveyards, actually, like in North Campus.
Basically, I've been looking for it like ever since the first clue. I've been out like probably 10 times. I actually ended up looking up what a rock face was and learned that it was a rock wall. So I went by myself a couple of times. I went with Robbie. Probably me and him got together like 3 times and looked for it like in the graveyard. And then another time we were with Hope, Barrett, and Q1 was supposed to meet us, but he got lost.
As soon as I saw that second clue, I immediately texted my group chat graveyard because I knew it, people lying on the ground, it had to be that. The entire group got together to search, and I went out a little bit later because I was finishing an assignment, but I got separated from the group.
He ended up like staying in Busby for a month because it was really cold out.
Busby? How do you end up at Busby?
I don't know.
So I'm not sure if anyone found anything, but we assumed that because of the snow it'd be hard to find anything.
But we went up and checked the night where it was like 5 degrees, which was a big mistake. All of our electronics died, and that was a bit of a catastrophe.
Like, I was running out of time, but I came back the same day after I talked to you last, and I was passing the graveyard. It was like pitch black, but I was like, fuck it, I got a full battery.
So it's a couple days before the 3rd immunity challenge of Survivor, and I don't know who's going to win the next challenge, so I want to get there out there as much as I can to try and look at this idol before somebody else can get another clue.
And I used my phone as a flashlight, so I'm looking at all the cracks in the rock walls, knowing that a lot of times the idols are hidden at a place that kind of catches the eye of like people walking by. And I saw a rock sticking out, kind of like a funny angle, a huge gap in the hole in the ground. And I decided to look in the hole, see if I found anything. I saw a little piece of cloth sticking out behind the rock. And when I reached in to see what it was, I found this bad boy sitting right inside the cloth, and I kind of went crazy, and I was like trying to keep it like together because I knew people were walking by. But finally found the idol after like 10 hours of searching.
I was walking to a club meeting one night and I saw Robbie with his flashlight near the cemetery.
And it's no joke. In the show, it looks easy because all you see is them looking for 30 seconds and finding it. But a lot more time goes into it than just that.
And Robbie has had 2 clues to the immunity idol, so I couldn't follow him at the moment. But right after, I went back to the cemetery with Bijan, and we looked everywhere, and we couldn't find anything. We talked more strategy, but I think Robbie has the idol, and right now, I view him as one of the biggest threats in this game.
So right now, my ally is Robbie, and then we also brought in Hope to make like a 3-person alliance in the case that we end up going to tribal council and having to vote someone off.
And I didn't want to all of a sudden have no interest in looking at the idol because that would be like a red flag, kind of an obvious sign that, like, why isn't he interested in the idol anymore? Didn't find it. So I was trying to play the part.
Kira, Hope, and Robbie are out here looking for some idols.
We found some pieces of garbage, but we didn't find an idol.
And we were going to one of the graveyards when I had the real idol in like my backpack.
As long as me, Robbie, and Hope stick together, then we're basically set.
If Kira and like Robbie like form an alliance and like maybe put like 1 or 2 more people in, like kind of just make a big one, like a blue and red alliance, like I was saying before. Like also like because they got rid of those 2 girls, like I have like a weird feeling that like the tribe swap is coming soon.
Once it hits 14, I feel like it's going to be breaking up the tribes and going 7 and 7. Like I'm almost 90% sure. Like that's just logically, I feel like that's what's next. And I'm scared for that because if I'm not on a tribe with Matt and Adj, I feel like I'm going to be fucked. But can I curse in these?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to be fucked.
But yeah, I think overall though, our group does get along very well. We get together every Wednesday to watch the Survivor Season 38, the new one that's coming out.
While Tribe Moynihan was watching Survivor today, Kira got a call from one of her friends on the other tribe.
So me and Adj had been talking about like, obviously we were kind of in an alliance before everything happened because we know each other. Oh, actually she called me, and this is when I was with everyone from my tribe. We were actually watching Survivor together. So she called me in the middle of that, and I'm like, oh, okay, like give me a second, I gotta like go away from everyone. And then she ended up asking if we wanted to
have dinner with her and her alliance to kind of form a pre-merge alliance between our 2 tribes, so that once the tribes merge, that we have some numbers.
Like an alliance dinner, basically with her group of 3 and my group of 3.
We all kind of just met them. We talked with them. It wasn't tense or anything. It was really relaxed and kind of chill, so that was good.
Me, Robbie, Hope, Bijan, Adj, and Matt.
And we had lunch, talked about forming an alliance of 6 so that when the merge happens,
we'll all be kind of like sticking together. Hopefully it's not just like, yeah, let's do an alliance and they're gonna stab us in the back.
Us 3 meeting with 3 from the red tribe, I think I agreed to it so we could get more numbers just in case there's like a tribe swap or a merge.
It's not that they don't, I want to work with Robbie more than them, I think, and that's just because I'll work with anybody. Like, I want numbers. I don't care who you are, I don't care what game you play. Like, early in this game, all I want is numbers. You can be disposed of later. I will dispose of you. So, if it's working with him early on, I'm completely fine with that. And he's clearly a strong player. He's clearly going to be a big player in this game. And, like, why would I want him coming after me? Like, I'd rather work with him and then get him out when we need to. But we need like a cross alliance, like another team, because eventually we're gonna merge or eventually we're gonna switch teams, and we can't just rely on everybody on our own team.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Moynihan Tribe, if I could have immunity back, Huan. Six so nicely on your head. Thank you. And Verfoy, if I could have immunity back. All right, guys. So 14 is a nice, very even number. You know what even numbers mean? Nothing. All right. So for our next challenge, we have 2 immunities up for grabs again today. For tonight's challenge, it's going to be a trivia-based challenge. So what we're going to have is we're going to have 4 categories. The 4 categories are going to be Survivor trivia, so that's going to be based on the show and stuff on the show. There's going to be TV and entertainment. That's another category. 3rd category is sports, and the 4th category is classroom potpourri. Classroom potpourri. So that's just like random, like kind of high school level, but just random like facts about like math, history, stuff like that. So Green Tribe, there's the 4 of you, so you guys one of us sit out. So what each tribe will do is you'll have 1 person assigned to each category. So that person will go head to head against the 2 people from the other 2 tribes in that category. I'll have a series of questions, so there'll be 8 questions for the category. They're multiple choice. You'll have a whiteboard. Whoever scores the most questions right for that round of the 3 tribes gets 2 points for their tribe. Whoever scores the second most gets 1 point. Whoever doesn't score gets no points. Whichever tribe has the least points coming out of the 4th category does not get immunity and will have to meet me at tribal council. I'll give you guys a minute to strategize and then we'll get started.
Well, there was definitely a lot of confusion in the beginning of the 3rd challenge. Like a bunch of us just had no idea what we would be good at and what we were going to do, so we're all sort of fumbling around with like, all right, I'll do this one, no, actually you do that one, you do that one.
Oh, better not be cricket either. Don't do this like weird cricket stuff.
Who do you think we are?
That's exactly why I think there's cricket.
So the first one we're going to start with is Survivor trivia. So we're going to start with you guys first. Alright, so question 1. Which season of Survivor includes the Karor tribe? Is it A, season 9 Vanuatu, B, season 10 Palau, C, season 11 Guatemala, or D, season 12 Exile Island? Alright, everyone good? Alright, answers. Robbie says B, Matt says D, Alex says B. The correct answer is B. Question 2.
Because the
Which of
tribes
these
will have
players
points.
have not won Survivor by earning every jury vote? Is it A, Earl Cole, B, John Cochran, C, Adam Klein, or D, Kim Sprout? Alright, any answers? Bobby says A, Matt says A, Alex says D. The correct answer is D. Skilka in the lead with 2, Robbie with 1, therefore with 0. Alright, question 3. Who was the first person to ever be voted out of Survivor? Which choice did not make the final tribal council twice? Which was the first season of Survivor to feature Andrianna? Correct answer is A. So, Skilka tribe with another point. 6. Who's the only female contestant to play Survivor 4 times? Which was the first season of Survivor to feature 3 starting tribes? Correct answer, please. Bobby says B. Matt says C. Alex says B. Season 8, All Stars. The correct answer is B. So Alex is 1 point. And with that, I think we have our
That is
first, second,
clinched.
third. So Skilka tribe gets 2 points for this round. Moynihan tribe gets 1. Weird Floyd gets 0. Alright, first trivia with Barrett, Dijon, and Shane. Alright, question 1. Which NBA player scored the most points in a single game? Is it A, Kobe Bryant, B, Wilt Chamberlain, C, Michael Jordan, or D, LeBron James? Anyone got an answer? Alright, it's revealed. Barrett says B, Dijon says B, Shane says B. The correct answer is B, Wilt Chamberlain. What are the names of the 2 baseball teams listed as from Los Angeles? Is it A, the Dodgers and Angels, B, the Dodgers and Kings, C, the Angels and Kings, or D, the Dodgers and Ducks? Alright, you want to answer it? Alright, reveal. Barrett says A, Bijan says A, Shane says A, correct answer is A. Everyone 2 points still. I know. Who's the most recent soccer player to win the Ballon d'Or? Which golfer has won the most major tournaments? Which hockey team has won the most Stanley Cups? Which football team won the first Super Bowl? Which WNBA player has scored the most points all time? Is for green for first and second. No, I'm sorry, but there's no way to get better than third this one. True. Alright, question 8. In what country was the modern form of tennis first formed? A, England, B, France, C, US, or D, Germany? Alright, answers please. Barrett says B, Shane says D. The correct answer is A, England. So neither person gets a point. So what that means is Moynihan, again, gets 2 points. Alright, so we have Pope for Moynihan, Ash for Drafoy, and Heidi for Skill. Alright, question 1. Of the shows listed, which of these has had the longest run on primetime television during its years? A, The Simpsons, B, Lassie, C, Law and Order, or D, MASH? Alright, answers please. Pope says A, Ash says A, Heidi says A. Correct answer is A. Down for 30 years. What movie features Jack Nicholson screaming, "You can't handle the truth"? Which TV showed the first interracial kiss on American network television? In the movie Fight Club, what is the first rule of Fight Club? In the show 2.5 Men, how does the main character Charlie Hartford die? HBO's Game of Thrones is based on a series of novels by what author? In what movie did James Bond first say the iconic phrase, Bond, James Bond? Green needs to get this one if they want a chance at first for this round. Is it A, From Russia with Love, B, Dr. No, C, Goldfinger, or D, You Only Live Twice? Alright, Hope says C, X is D, X is B. Correct answer is B.
We got the time!
Dan track, let's not miss it. There's Octopus Breaker, Thunderball.
Whichever of you answers closest to the year gets it right. If you both say the same year, then it's whoever shows it to me first. Alright. Question. What year was the movie Lion King? The Lion King was the year. Alright. Pope says 1995. Heidi says 1997. The correct answer is 1994. This round is mainly for Moynihan and Jaskilka for first place and who gets to do this. Alright. So this is in the classroom. Alright, question 1. Which planet has the most moons? What is the best-selling novel of all time? It's the standardized formula for a cylinder. Who was the first U.S. president to be impeached? Was it A, Herbert Hoover, B, Bill Clinton, C, Andrew Johnson, or D, Richard Nixon? C, D, A. The correct answer is C. So,
Johnson.
So with that, what that means is Moynihan gets 2 points, Jaskilka gets 1 point, and straight 0 all the way through. Congratulations, Moynihan, on your 3rd straight first place. Alright, congratulations, Moynihan. Campus B. Community once more. Jaskilka tribe, you guys brought it back after the loss last week.
And keeping Alex around as opposed to Silver proved to be very beneficial to us because Alex had a certain amount of survivor knowledge.
Alex definitely stood out. Got 8 out of 8, which was great.
Yeah, I didn't really want people to know that I was that big of a fan of the show, but I kind of felt like I was backed into a corner and I had to just nail the challenge, so I'm glad that I did that. Also, my tribe really hates Robbie, so the fact that I went up against him and I beat him, they were all over me that night, so it was nice.
We see Robbie as a threat to our mental sanity just because we do kind of think that he kind of cheats, and he's a very competitive guy.
Wow. Alright, therefore, unfortunately, 0 points isn't going to do it. So I'm going to see you guys at Travels when you do the characters for us. See you guys.
Our tribe is looking pretty unbeatable so far, and I'm very proud of us, first of all. It's something that I didn't expect. I feel like if you string 2 wins in a row together, that's pretty impressive, but if you win the first 3 challenges, that's like verging on like domination, and we're killing it so far.
So, the third clue was about the idol being close to a tree and a lamppost.
So, this is like the 4th time I have come to check for the idol. I'm currently in the big graveyard, and I'm pretty sure that someone else already found the idol because I have checked in the same places all like a bunch of times. Wait, actually, I take that back. There's a lantern coming up by the rock wall at the beginning of the graveyard. I'm gonna check that, but it's still probably not gonna be there because I'm pretty sure either Barrett, maybe Robbie has it, and he's just not saying anything, and he just keeps playing along, like trying to find the idol.
We're all gonna go out tomorrow and look for the idol together, and they don't know that the real idol's already around my neck. So I'm gonna make my fake idol tonight and place it in the exact same spot that I found this real one, and hope that they stumble upon it.
And we just got the 3rd clue, which makes it really apparently obvious that the idol is in a graveyard where I am, on a rock wall like that, next to a tree like this. And the rest of the team is getting suspicious that somebody has already taken said idol. So I made myself a fake idol, just like this, and I'm going to place it in the same cloth that the original idol came in a hole underneath the rock wall. Hopefully they'll find it, and then suspicion will be cast away from me because everyone else on the team is starting to think that somebody's already found the idol, and I don't want that target on my back. So here goes nothing. Hopefully it works.
And then on Saturday, me and Robbie went to go back to look for it again, and I ended up finding it.
Okay. So.
Oh my fucking god.
Finally, like I
don't want people to walk by and see us.
So, it says, you have discovered a hidden immunity advantage.
Holy crap.
I can't believe I fucking...
That was awesome.
I think Robbie could be a very strong contender, and if we have to vote someone out, then I think it should be him, just because he's dangerous and could potentially win the whole thing in my mind.
Okay. Is this on? Yeah. So, we're talking strategy about, if we should come up with a fake idol. Robbie really wants to do that.
That's my goal the entire game. Just find the idol so that I can plant a fake one.
So I was driving Matt home, and he like seemed like really like wary of Adge now. It was kind of like a little bit suspicious. Like he was like, oh, like she could be playing both of us. I'm like, yeah, she could. I mean, we can get her out. Like, I'm letting him decide everything. Like, I'm not going to make any of the decisions right now. Like, I need him to think that he is running this tribe and he's running the alliance. That's what I want. So, if he wants Adge out, Adge can go. If he wants Carolina out, Carolina can go. If Neil can go. I don't really care at this point. I know that I'm safe. I'm pretty safe, so we'll see.
In the trivia challenge, I think everyone else kind of sunk when they saw there was Survivor trivia. I kind of called that, and no one seemed anxious to do it, and they agreed I'd probably seen the most, so I stepped up like as a leader there. I was like, I'll take it. But I think I could have outperformed, not to sound cocky, but pretty much all of them in the other trivia sections. But we got to do it as a team, so I think ultimately we would have come in last no matter what.
I mean, some of the questions I knew the answers to, but I wasn't going, so that was kind of annoying to deal with.
I think in the trivia challenge, I don't think anything would have saved us, if I'm being honest.
We obviously did not do well at all in that challenge. I guess it was just not something we were good at.
We know one of us was going to go home that day, or during the tribal. And so, immediately after it ended, Adge seemed to have made a group chat with me, like everyone but Carolina.
Right, so basically, we were kind of torn between the two because I felt like Carolina was somebody who would become a big threat in the future, but I also wanted to see like where everyone was at with Carolina.
Her text was saying that, all right, we should vote out Carolina because she knows a lot of people on the other team and she's very dangerous that way. But then I started piecing together, wait a second, I also know people on other teams. So then I was wondering, like, wait, maybe they have another group chat with everyone but me, like with Carolina. And so I texted Carolina, sending her a picture of the group chat because I thought I could win her over as an ally, trying to get Adge out, because that was my original plan. Because after I saw the group chat, I knew, like, all right, Adge seems to be the ringleader here. We need to get her out, else she'll turn on everyone.
So at first, when I got the text about Neil, I was kind of relieved. I was like, oh, okay. I guess like the majority vote won't go towards me, but now that Neil got the same text, I have no idea what they're up to.
And so Carolina, after sending her the picture, says like, hey, can we meet up? Something strange is going on. A few minutes afterwards, Adge made a group chat saying that we should take out Carolina because she's friends with someone on the Green Tribe?
Yes.
Right, okay. If you can show the group chat here. That's how that went.
Adge did the same exact thing, but for you.
That's what I was hoping that wouldn't happen.
Like, same exact thing. She texted me, Bijan, and Matt.
She confirmed that there was an exact group chat without me in it.
Saying that you were friends with Hope.
That is true.
And that, so you were friends with Hope.
So in other words, I can plead innocence in this group
They're
chat.
all together.
All of them?
Well, Bijan knows what's going on because he's in both group chats.
He does.
So does Matt.
Huh.
It's very clear that Adge, Matt, and Bijan are in an alliance, but I don't know if they want to vote me or Neil off because they both texted us the same exact things.
All three of them are going to vote for one person.
Shit.
This is like a lot.
I'm very confused, but I'm meeting with Bijan today and I'm going to try to figure it out.
So I met up with her, we talked, but the problem is I just have to like convince Matt. Not that we need him, but I can't feel like he's like out of the loop, I guess.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should hit me up and then I could like clear things up.
I don't think she would pick up on that. But I basically told her that Matt really wants her out and Adge like wants her to stay, and I was kind of in the middle. And then like I always knew that I wanted to keep her, but I was scared what Matt would do to me. I was just kind of like making Matt look a little bit bad because I don't want to be the one to look bad. And to be fair, Matt was the one who wanted her out. Don't like tell him that I told you that he wants to keep Neil. Like definitely act like you're not really sure.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the difference between like you and him. Like I don't feel like you're gonna like try to ditch us and go get with Maddie.
No.
Like I feel like you're willing to either
because
work
she
with
wouldn't
us.
ditch me. I mean, she wouldn't ditch her alliance for me.
Yeah. Adge?
Yes, I've never talked to Adge out of the.
I assumed you guys were allies.
No.
I just felt like I don't know, like oh the girls are probably gonna try to like team up.
No.
Which I was like, and I also like get along a lot better with girls than I do with guys. So I was like, I wish I was part of that. She told me I was the only person that she texted in the alliance. Between me, Matt, and Adge, like she only texted to meet up with me because. So what had happened was Neil or Adge created a group chat. I told you with me, her, Matt, and Neil, and then me, her, Matt, and Carolina. And she sent them basically the same exact thing, saying to vote the other one out. But Neil sent that group chat to Carolina. He like exposed it. So she brought that up to me, and I was like, she's like, so like, are you three in an alliance? I'm like, fuck. So I didn't want to like lie. Well, I did. I was like, we're not in an alliance. We're just kind of like voting together. I mean, an alliance basically. So I feel bad. Like I don't know. Like it was shady to make the two group chats. Like, the moment I saw that, I was like, oh god. I think I talked about that in my confessional today. I was like, Adge made two group chats.
Oh my god, Ryan.
With like copy paste the same
I
message.
said the same thing to Ryan. Poor Ryan was like,
yikes.
Ryan was behind the camera like, interesting.
Yeah. But I told her that. I kind of just established trust with her. I told her like I will not write your name down. Like I promise I'll do everything in my power to make sure that like you are safe this week. Yeah, I'm not gonna vote you. I can't vote you. No, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah, no, for real.
Okay.
At first I was thinking let's get out Carolina because I know she knows someone from the Green Tribe, and I don't like people having these connections, especially because I think Carolina and her friend Maddie may be roommates, so that kind of scares me.
Thing was going on, and so I met up with Matt, and then the plan was, what I got with Matt was, we're gonna team up, me, Carolina, and Matt. We're gonna vote out Adge, but he was also a bit iffy on it. He was saying like, I'm not sure if we want to vote out Adge because Carolina is pretty dangerous, especially with the merge coming up and everything. Doesn't seem like a smart idea. So personally, my vote didn't matter in the situation. Bijan, Adge, and Matt were all voting as one.
Neil, on the other hand, I met up with him and I convinced him to vote for Carolina, so I feel like that's where his vote's going. And
I met with him, I saw him at the library, and he wants you out. But I basically told him...
Did you say why?
Because you sent the chat so quickly. The other day, he's like, oh, she's a real player. I said that'd be stupid because if you vote for her and we all vote for someone else, you're going to look like a target now. So I said we're all voting for Carolina, and he should too. So I think he's set on that.
Yeah, just in case, like...
Yeah,
you never know.
So yeah.
that was good. Good job.
Yeah. But Bijan and Adge both wanted Neil, and that's what makes me suspicious that they're working together more.
This tribal's coming up. What I think is going to happen is Carolina is going to walk home because Matt seemed pretty adamant on it, and if they're voting as a group, I think I'm pretty safe, to be honest.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous. You never know what's going to happen in this game. I would hate to be the first one to go because I think I have a good chance to win, but could be famous last words. I hope not.
Welcome back to Very Tribe, you guys' second tribal council. So, today, last challenge, you guys got dominated in this trivia challenge. Like, it wasn't like, oh, you almost got second. It was, you guys got 0 points in any category. So, Adge, was there any strategy done wrong? Do you think someone should have done a different category? Do you think, was there any way you guys could have pulled out an immunity in that one? Or do you think it was just hopeless?
I think it was just bad because obviously I don't think anybody did well in the challenge, including me. Like, we didn't get enough points, but I think if we switched it around, it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
So, I think at our last tribal council, we said you guys, when you couldn't do the balloon challenge, you were like, we're the smart tribe. I think that's our positive here. But you got 0 points, so are you not the smart tribe, guys?
I don't think trivia
Fair to say. Neil, you sat out of this challenge. Was it frustrating to sit out? Do you think you could have helped your tribe if you were in, or do you think you guys are just like not getting this?
Even if I did somehow manage to guess right on a say perfect, it still wouldn't matter.
I mean, you could have removed the 0 from the scoreboard. It's fair, it's fair. So, Bijan, you guys have 2 last places now and a second place that you guys scraped by on. Do you think you guys are the weakest tribe of the 3?
Yeah, I think we're the weakest tribe. I think we are the worst tribe, and I don't think it's like up to. I think it's luck at this point, but I mean, I don't know what we can do different to win, and I just don't think it's in the cards.
Carolina, do you think the red tribe is beatable, or do you think they're just going to destroy every challenge? They've got 3 first places in a row.
They keep proving strong in every category. At this point, I don't think we could beat them, but maybe another tribe would be capable.
So you think Green Tribe, they've got what it takes? Matt, this is your guys' first real tribal, I'd say. Last one was basically a joke for you guys. It was pretty straightforward. But do you think the build-up to this tribal not having basically, I'd say, 2 rounds of not going to tribal, do you think that impacts his vote, or do you think people were scrambling right after you guys lost immunity?
I think basically in this game, anytime we're going to tribal, no matter what, no one should feel safe, no matter what. I think, sometimes you have no idea what's going on, sometimes you're scrambling, but I think anything can happen at any time, and I think it's always important to remember that.
Speaking of safety, well, let's ask a few of you. Ad, are you feeling comfortable tonight with tonight's vote? You feel like you'll be getting by here?
Possibly.
Possibly. That's a very good vague answer. Good job. How about we'll go to Carolina? Are you feeling safe tonight?
You never know what's gonna happen.
Why possibly? Are you leaning one way or the other?
Okay. I don't feel completely safe.
We'll just go through everyone. Bijan, how are you feeling tonight?
Possibly. I don't know. Like, you really never know.
So Neil, possibly?
I feel lucky.
You said you feel lucky? Is that what you said? Why are you feeling lucky?
I feel lucky.
I don't know what he's talking about. Does anyone know what he's talking about? Alright, Neil's feeling lucky. Matt, how are you feeling about tonight's travel? You feel it could be you going home tonight?
Dare I say it's possible that I could go home. Like I said, I don't feel completely safe. I probably never will if I'm on this bench, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Alright, Matt, another question. Do you think pre-existing relationships are an important part of this game? People that may know people that are on their tribe or another tribe before this game started?
I think people know each other could be important, but I also think, once you're in this game, it's like a fresh start at the same time. So new relationships form, new friendships, new bonds, new alliances, but other ones, they could be dangerous, they could be helpful. So I think it's just important to keep all these options open, I'd say.
You guys got anything else you want to air before we get to the vote? Alright, Matt, you're up first.
Okay, this is more to save myself. As far as I know, this is who most people are voting out.
Oh, okay, word. I'm feeling lucky.
Alright, let's tally the votes. If anyone has hidden video and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Alright, I'll read the votes. First vote, Neil. One vote Neil. Second vote, Ad. One vote Neil, one vote Ad. Third vote, Neil. 2 votes Neil, 1 vote Ad. Third person vote as Survivor Ready to Rumble, Neil. Sorry to say, that's enough for a minute. Please bring me a bandana. Alright, give me Bijan. Yeah. The tribe is spoken. I'll see you inside. Alright, unanimous vote for you guys tonight. Seems like it was pretty quick and clean, but you guys are going to have to make a change if you don't want to end up here again. It's 2 right now. Don't want to be here. 4 people on 1 tribe. That's it for tonight. I'll see you guys at the next challenge. Have a good night.
Alright, Neil, so what do you think happened tonight?
So, it's actually completely unexpected from what was going on. Previously, in the group chats, of course they split off after we heard we're going to tribal. So Edge, who I've heard, made 2 group chats. One with everyone but Carolina, and one with everyone but me. And the reason for that was because we both know people on the other team. And the way things were going after a few talks and meetups, it looked like Carolina was going to get voted out. That was the original plan. But clearly, during this tribal, the tables have turned.
Next time on Survivor UConn.
Tonight we have 13 people. Nice prime number. So naturally, we're going to switch tribes. Everyone drop your bandana.